Well, we're back in Newark. You can tell.
Good evening, whenever you're watching. Thank you for joining us. Today is the final day. It is day 10 of our 10-day trip with 22 people to Walt Disney World. Today is departure day, so it's always a sad day on a Disney trip. It is bright and early right now. It's actually just about 7 o'clock. I am on my way over to the Skyliner station right now, and then I'm going to jump over to Epcot real quick before we have to leave.
Relax and enjoy the most magical flight on Earth.
Thank you. We just boarded the Skyliner, or I just boarded the Skyliner. I have a couple summary points that I just wanted to kind of go over with you guys. If you're watching day 10, there's 9 other videos that lead up to this conversation. So you may want to go back and check those out first. If you do, there's links in the description below for all of those videos. But first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about Genie Plus on this trip. We paid for it up front for the entire trip for all 4 people in our group. I will tell you, it was an amazing experience having Genie Plus. I do believe if you're coming to Walt Disney World and you are looking to have the most efficient and exciting time, you're gonna need to do Genie Plus. What I would say is you probably don't need to book it every day for every park. There were plenty of days where we only used Genie Plus for 1 or 2 days. The next thing I wanted to discuss on this trip is going to be packing your flexibility and your patience. 22 people, all different personality types, all different levels of health. You are going to have to be patient. You're going to have to be flexible. I found myself on multiple points of this trip feeling like this is enough. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. And then all of a sudden something happens and the morale gets boosted again and everyone's back on track. So if you're doing a large group Disney trip and you've been to Disney before, just remember it is not going to be the same trip that you've done with your immediate family, maybe your wife and your kids. It is not going to be that lone Disney trip you did with a friend of yours. It is going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of stress, but you'll get through it. Just be flexible and be patient. So now let's talk a little bit about transportation options that we found that we never used before. The buses and monorail systems have always been fantastic in the past. And honestly, they weren't bad this time either. We had really great luck with bus times. We did ride the monorail a couple times and had great luck with that. The Skyliner has been a joy to have at the Art of Animation. I mean, I think this is probably one of the best transportation options Disney has, to be honest. But we discovered Uber and Lyft this trip. So the way I looked at it was this. An Uber, the average price that we paid for an Uber XL with car seats in it was about $30. And that seems steep. But the way that I broke it down was this. Your time is money, all right? You're paying all this money to come to Disney World. If you walk up to a bus station at Art of Animation in the morning and you're 3 buses deep with people, you're gonna probably be waiting about an hour to get on a bus, give or take. Is that hour worth $30 to you and your family to just get on an Uber and get over to the park that you're going to that day versus waiting in an hour-long line? And last but not least, let's talk about frustrations with the kids on this trip. Every topic that I've discussed on this monorail trip so far has kind of been a direct result of our frustration with the kids on this trip. And what I mean by that is we've reached a point where our kids are of age where they're not going to just sit in a stroller and take a nap. Their meltdowns are going to be, we need to go back to the resort and relax. Using Genie Plus, we were able to stay at the resort later and then go into the parks a little bit later because we were booking the Genie Plus ride, the Lightning Lanes, for the rides that we wanted to go on and knew we wanted to get done throughout the day. We were also able to use flexibility and patience when a Hollywood Studios day that's supposed to start later in the evening because we spent the day at the pool for the kids turns into a solo dad trip with 2 kids to the Magic Kingdom for fireworks.
At Epcot.
We also took Uber and Lyft to help spend less time waiting in lines and more time enjoying the magic. So I would say try to plan your days to start a little bit later, maybe plan them to end a little bit earlier. Guys, you may not see fireworks with young kids. I was fortunate enough to be able to see both trips, both fireworks at Epcot and Magic Kingdom this trip, but this is the first time in 5 trips to Disney that I saw Magic Kingdom fireworks. So it's something to take into consideration if you're coming on a Disney trip with a large group or just young kids. You may not see everything you want to see, and your kids may not play along with everything you want.
And with all of that being said, we have arrived at Epcot. Here's the line to get in. It is not long at all. It is about 7:20 right now, so we still have about 40 minutes before the official early entry begins. But we will see what happens as we line up here.
Yeah. Okay, put it up here again.
All right, we made it through. It is 7:45, so we are going to hightail it over to France right now. One of the benefits of being on the Skyliner loop is you get to go in through the International Gateway entrance, which allows you to have direct access to France instead of having to come in at the front of the park where the other park guests are going to have to run all the way across the park. So it is definitely a perk if you're looking to get on Remy. And we have made it over the bridge here. Love the smell of Epcot in the morning. I'm not sure if you can see this on the GoPro just because I don't have a zoom, but the crowd level outside of the security and ticketing area right now is way larger than it was when I got here at 7:20. So the earlier you can get here, the better. I would guess that I'm probably in maybe a 5 to 10 minute wait right now for standby for Ratatouille, where the people behind me over there are probably going to be waiting quite a while. A lot of queue switchbacks here. A lot of queue switchbacks here that we are not going to be standing in because we are here bright and early. It is 5 to 8. We are walking in now. It is a posted 5-minute wait time, which basically means a walk-on at this point. Hopefully, we shall see. But so far, it is 5 to 8, so the park hasn't even officially opened yet, and we are walking into Ratatouille. So I highly suggest if you're staying Beach Club Boardwalk or anywhere on the Skyliner loop, get here early and get this attraction out of the way without paying for it. Kind of at a standstill right now in the room with the artist board here set up. So I think we're basically just waiting for them to allow people to start going on the ride at this point, but it is not even 8 o'clock yet, and we have about a couple minutes wait before we're going to be on this ride. Okay, here we are, 8:01, first in line here. All right, just got off of Ratatouille, and as you can see, what did I tell you? That queue was going to get filled in quick. It is 10 after 8 right now, and that entire queue is filled in. Pretty sure I had one of those Mandela effect moments where like you're almost positive you know you saw something, but you didn't. Where you completely thought something was one thing, but it wasn't. So I wandered around that store for about 10 minutes trying to find this blue and white Epcot mug that I could have sworn we saw here on Wednesday, and couldn't find it. So I finally walk up to a cast member and I'm like, hey, we were here on Wednesday and there was these blue and white Epcot mugs, and they all looked at me like I was crazy, and they were like, we don't have any Epcot specific branded stuff anymore. Everything's kind of just generic Disney brand. And I'm like, but you had it here on Wednesday. And they were like, no, we didn't. They're like, the only thing we have here is the Starbucks Epcot mug, which is like a travel mug. So then I wandered over to the flower and garden mug that they had, and I'm like, well, that's probably the closest thing to Epcot specific. Picked it up, and I'm like, wait, this is the mug. So I could have sworn it wasn't a flower and garden mug, but it's what we got. I just wanted to kind of recap my morning so far. It's 8:40. I got on Remy's Ratatouille adventure as a walk-on, basically. I could have went on Frozen with a 10-minute wait. I had a lightning lane booked for Spaceship Earth that was a 5-minute wait when I decided to leave. It had just come back up. And every other ride in the park, with the exception of Soarin', with the exception of Test Track, was under 10 minutes.
Riviera
So
Resort, a Disney vacation club.
there is something to be said for getting up early and just getting to the park and banging out a whole bunch of rides one after another, and then either having the rest of the day to head back to the resort, or just hang out until the kids get tired and then head back to the resort then, because you've done it all. This right here is what 10 days with four people in Disney World looks like. We're on our way down to Bell Services now. We're gonna go check all this stuff at Bell Services, check out of the hotel, and then from there we are going to jump the Skyliner one last time to head over to Riviera to go to Topolino's Terrace for breakfast for Mother's Day. It's one of the only character meet and greets right now where you can dine and meet characters. So I wanted to make sure we got this at least for one of the days that we were here. And the only day I was able to get it was the last day at 11:50. So right after this, we're basically gonna run right back over here. And then we have our shuttle picking us up at 3:30 to take us back to MCO. So earlier this morning in this video, I talked about how the Skyliner has been a treat to be on. And has really been a great way of transportation all around. Well, unfortunately, I jinxed us, and our trip over to the Riviera has been sidetracked because the loop to Epcot is shut down, and that's what you have to take to get over to Riviera. So we are now going to take an impromptu tour here of the Caribbean Beach Resort in the smoldering Florida sun, but we have plenty of time. It's not as hot as it's been the rest of this week, so let's make the best of it. Here we are. So on this side here we have the Peter Pan mosaic, which goes all the way around over to London. And then on the other side over here, they are going to have a beautiful Tangled theme mosaic, which starts off at the tower here. Here's Rapunzel's tower. And then over on the other side are the lanterns separating her birthday. These are amazing. And everybody else is running ahead because they've had enough. Okay, we are now inside. I believe the main lobby is up there. We are going to make our way up to the main lobby. They have these, look at all these beautiful pictures here. Look at this. Got all French posters from the different Disney movies. That is so awesome. Somewhere. So here's the lobby. It is not nearly as grand as any of the other Disney Deluxe Resort lobbies. It's almost actually unassuming because it's small. It's kind of tight here as well. But it is a nice lobby. I mean, I do feel like I'm walking into any one of the premier Marriott or Hilton properties. It doesn't feel very Disney, except for some Disney theming on the walls here and there. But I mean, it's nice. It's nice. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of glad we did not buy DVC here though. They have this interactive table over here for the kids to play on while they wait for, you know, either your room to be ready or you're waiting for transportation in the morning. This is pretty cool. Now let's head into La Boutique. Wow, this is the first time I've seen the Coach merchandise outside of the Disney Springs location and the Creation Shop. So they do have the Coach merchandise here if you are looking for it. The Riviera branded stuff. Got some of the home decor stuff here as well. So as we make our way over this way here, you're gonna see some Riviera branded merchandise in particular. This is pretty cool. That is actually a really cool t-shirt right there. It says Bienvenue Riviera Resort. And they also have that exclusive Riviera luggage here as well. It is very nice. I feel like it would just get damaged though. Like I wouldn't want to fly with that. That is a beautiful mug. So that is the front of the mug. It has Mickey and Minnie standing on a balcony overlooking the Skyliner. And then that is the back side of the resort mug right there. So if we were staying at this resort, we would absolutely be purchasing that. That is a cool little, look at that. Little dish. They also have a Riviera Christmas ornament here, and then another Riviera ornament with Mickey and Minnie dressed up in there too. Court just found a matching bathing suit to mine. Court, you should still get it. We could. Really kidding. Oh, come on. Look at these little keychains, these little luggage characters here. Look at Donald in his little sculpting outfit. That's awesome. I was just about to walk out and I saw this picture frame and wanted to show you guys. That is an adorable picture frame from Riviera. It holds, I believe, it says it'll hold in either 4x6 or 5x7. That is a really nice picture frame though. We have arrived at the 10th floor, which is Topolino's Terrace. They've got a waiting area over here, which is where the restrooms are to the left of the elevator. The main dining room is over to the right. Look at all that fresh pasta, Dimitri. Oh my lord. All right. Look at all that fresh pasta right there. This is the main dining room area here. And the views go on forever. So I'm just gonna bounce over here. We're in the lounge right now. So this is the window looking out of the lounge. And from here, you can see the quiet pool down there, which I believe is the DVC pool. And then, oh, good news, it looks like the Skyliner is running again. It is moving. But you can see Tower of Terror out there in the distance. I believe that is Everest. Oh yeah, the Everest and the Tree of Life from here. There's the Swan and Dolphin. You can see Beach Club and Yacht Club. I mean, the views are just unbelievable from up here. So we're eating the pastries that they give you at the table right now. They're delicious. They really are good. They give you a strawberry jam, a chocolate dipping, and a butter for it. I think this one's empty now. No, we want. I think there's a muffin left in there, but this one's got a couple other things in it. And then as far as the food options go, they have a quiche, avocado toast, a fruit plate, 2 eggs any style, a mushroom scramble, which is plant-based, sour cream waffle, smoked salmon, or the wood-fired butcher steak. And then for the kids, they have Mickey waffles, scrambled eggs, fruit, that kind of stuff, fruit and yogurt. So a decent amount of options here. It is $42 per adult and $27 per kids between the ages of 3 and 9. So, so far the pastries have been delicious. So, yeah, so far it's been a great experience. One thing I am going to comment on is I checked in online down in the lobby, got the confirmation the check-in went through, and then when we came up here about 20 minutes later, because we hadn't gotten the text message the table's ready, they told us that we never checked in, and then 5 minutes later we got the text message that our table was ready. So I'm not sure what happened there. It could have just been a hiccup in the system, but we did wait about a half hour before we were able to sit down past our reserve time. Hi, Daisy. Why don't you guys get up and do a picture with Daisy?
I want to take a picture.
All right. Look at mommy. Hey, Donald, how are you?
Go sit down. Come on. Get down.
All right.
All right. You guys smile at mommy?
So are you making a good statue? Yeah, see? Hey, Minnie!
Take a picture with Minnie. You want to take a picture with Minnie? Haley, get closer.
So the kids got the waffle platter, and it comes on an artist palette with 3 different dipping sauces and the fruit and the waffles. That is awesome.
Thank you very much.
How's your pacing going, Mickey? Wow.
Mickey's tired. Absolutely gorgeous out here. Bad news is it looks like the Skyliner to Epcot is shut down again. So now I'm over on the other side. Oh, here's the main pool. So this is the main pool to the Riviera. They have a nice water slide right there on the left. That does look like a light tower. The pool looks small though. It is a 0 entry pool. I can see that from here. You can see right there is where the 0 entry part is. But that looks like a tiny pool. I don't know. Everything about this resort feels compact. Nice view of Caribbean Beach there. And then you've got some of the partner resorts over on that side there. Let's talk about Topolino's Terrace. Food was phenomenal. Character meet and greets were great. Very exclusive outfits that they're wearing, so you're not going to see that anywhere else on property. Service was very good. I think the only hiccup we had was the check-in process, which I don't even think was really an issue. It was just that they're super busy because it's Mother's Day and people have reservations. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely do this again. We saw each character once, except for Donald. He came around twice in the time we were here. So you're definitely not going to feel rushed. They spent a good amount of time with the kids each time they came around. And definitely 5 out of 5 in my book. So definitely make this one of your priorities as far as reservations go. It's hard to get, so try to make it a little bit later in your trip. If you're booking at the 60-day mark, use that to your advantage, because if you're booking on day 1 of your trip, if you go out a few days later, there's going to be a lot more availability than if you're trying to book it for the first day of your trip, if that makes sense. Comment down below if you have questions about that and I can explain it better. We twisted some arms and we made it happen. We're gonna go over by the beach club on Boardwalk one last time. It's a level of relaxation that you just don't get anywhere else. All right, we have arrived over here at the Beach Club arcade. This is not nearly as big as the arcade that we were at over at Art of Animation, but I figure instead of sitting at the same resort for the next 2 hours, we'll come check this out. Trip to the Beach Club without a Category 5. See you later, Epcot area. The last time for this trip.
Skyliner.
We'll see you next
Epcot
year.
International Gateway.
April we're going,
We're
right?
flying to Disney.
Well, we made it back to Art of Animation, and now we're on the shuttle to MCO. Look how much room we have in here. We had 14 people on the way here, and we were in a van. We're at MCO. We haven't gone through security yet, but we just found out our flight got delayed to 7 now. So that puts us back in New Jersey around 10, which means we won't be home until probably 11:30. It's gonna be a long night. Nick's just in rare form. He's been in rare form all day. Kaylee's okay. So yeah, so we're gonna be settled in here for a while. Nothing left to talk about now. Well, we're back in Newark. You could tell. Air train's not working, and it's gonna be a long night. Well, we're home. It started as a 3 p.m. pickup today at Art of Animation. Turned into a 12:15 arrival back in New Jersey. Probably one of the most stressful travel days I think I've ever had. There were just issues with the air train when we got back to Newark, flight delays leaving Orlando, and then we finally were able to get on the air train and we loaded our family on, and then there was no room left in the train, and these 3 people like pushed themselves into our train car, and it was just a stressful night. Luckily it's over. We're home. So hope you guys enjoyed watching the play-by-play of us making our final day in Disney World end, and then the nightmare of a travel coming back. But if you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this video right now, there's 9 other videos before this that are way more entertaining in Disney World. But that being said, there's really not much left to say. We're done, son.